If you're deciding on the funding part, how do we decide that? What is the checklist?
So usually, we have a proprietary scoring system called Scout, which is the word SCOUT to the power of E. But if you can't scale fast, then you don't deserve a VC check. You could be a fantastic business, but venture capital is for outlier businesses, right? You're for businesses that can give 100%, 200%, 300% returns on capital employed, which not every business can.
What is that one sector, which is actually booming right now and we can see like in near future also?
10 years ago, when if somebody asked me about deep tech, I would always say कि मुझे नहीं लगता इंडिया में deep tech बन सकता है. India is not a deep tech story. Today you can really see it, right? Things have changed dramatically over the last 5 years, and I have had to change my thesis too. So to me, I think deep tech with a focus on space tech, semiconductor, and then secondly, I believe the application layer of AI, right? That has a huge potential in India. We're very good at creating such products. So
Talking about the aspiring entrepreneurs, sir, any advice that you would like to give?
what I would encourage, and I encourage this to all founders that are building deep tech, they're building D2C companies, whatever you're building, be as close to the customer as possible. Almost every single problem you have in your business can be solved by KYC, so know your customer. And that's what my only encouragement and my only advice to any founder in any situation is just know your customer.
Hello and welcome to TiCon UP podcast series. I'm Sukshim Sharma, your host for today, as I'm joined by dignitaries who are shaping the future of entrepreneurship in India. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you so much, Suksham.
So, can you please introduce yourself?
So my name is Anirudh Damani. I run a venture capital fund under the name Artha Venture Fund. We've been early stage investors in the Indian startup ecosystem for almost 1.5 decades. 145 odd startups, managing 6 funds across 2,500 plus crores of AUM. Back some of the most iconic names in Indian startups: Oyo Rooms, Purple, Karza Technologies, Lane Dane Club, Everest Fleet, Agnicool, Dalchini, Instaastro, just to name a few.
Right. So, since you mentioned about how you have also been a major part in supporting the startups, I would really like to understand if you're deciding on the funding part. How do we decide that? What is the checklist?
So usually, we have a proprietary scoring system called Scout, which is the word SCOUT to the power of E. And what S stands for is we're looking for businesses that are solving real human problems. We're looking for businesses that can define a category, either if there is none that they're operating in the moment, or they enter a category and win the category. So we're looking for category winning startups. We're looking for and then O stands for optimize unit economics. So companies that understand what their per transaction profits are and how they can scale that. So we're looking for businesses obviously that have positive optimized unit economics. Then U stands for an unmatched right to win. Founders having the right to operate in their business or the sector that they're working for because of personal experience, right? I think that has a lot of value when you're operating in an area that you understand the game before getting into it. And then T stands for tech-enabled companies. We love companies that are trying to solve a problem first, so looking for a solution, and then looking at the implementation of technologies, but not trying to build a solution and then seeing if they can fit the problem into it, right? So that to us stands as Scout. And then E is the most important part because E stands for exponential scale. So you can have all these 5 questions answered well, but if you can't scale fast, then you don't deserve a VC check. You could be a fantastic business, but venture capital is for outlier businesses, right? You're for businesses that can give 100%, 200%, 300% returns on capital employed, which not every business can. So you have to, as a startup and as an investor in startups, we have to be very, very discerning when it comes to that not every business qualifies to take venture capital, and that's not really a statement on the business, but a statement of what kind of capital we actually are the custodians of.
Absolutely. Sir, I would also like to know about a case study that was actually has been a benchmark of success stories when it comes to, entrepreneurs and startups.
There's just so many, I think, are you talking about specifically funded startups? Because there's amazing case studies of
Yes,
unfunded startups or
yes.
unfunded companies.
I would like to know about the funded startup first from you, and then maybe we can talk
Many, yeah.
about
I
the
think
other
we
part.
have we have a company in our portfolio called Lane Dane Club. I've now, I think, almost 10 years plus in the journey with them, with Bhavin. We started investing in them where they didn't have anything digital. They literally were doing physical peer-to-peer loans. So 10, 15 people would put in, let's say 5,000 rupees into a loan that was then given to an individual. When the individual was given the loan, he had to, let's say it's a 6 month loan. So, and there was 15 people investing in the loan. So they had to write 90 checks, which are post dated over a 6 month loan, and they had to give that upfront. And then Bhavin would physically take that loan document, go to the bank, get it franked, get it signed by 16 parties. That's the borrower plus 15, and then deposit the checks first into his escrow account, and then give the check to the borrower, and the borrower's checks would then get deposited on the X date, and then money would get sent back. Absolutely insanely manual business. You can just imagine कि 50,000 रुपए के लोन के लिए या 75,000 rupees के लोन के लिए you have to do so much मेहनत.
Right.
But that was the price that had to be paid. Eventually, that business scaled into him getting one of India's first peer-to-peer NBFC licenses. He scaled to becoming a category-winning company. Today, he is the winner of the category. I could say the business has gone from 2 loans a month to, I think it's now somewhere around 2 loans a minute, probably more than that. And the business is scaled to, this last year they did a 26 crore PAT. This year they're on track to at least more than 3x of that PAT. The business has only taken in 87 crores or so of investment, and today I think the cash balance should be close to 200 crores. I think that's a lovely business. True example of what venture capital is all about. It's not just about burning money, it's about developing scale and doing it profitably. And I have a 10-year journey with him. We've lived many deaths with him, but really proud of what the team has executed. They're a team now of 300 people, and they really are, in many ways, kicking ass and taking names. And today, I would say that the next 12 to 18 months, this could be truly a company that could crack the 250 to 500 crore PAT number
Right.
in the years to come, which would be fantastic for a fintech company to be that wildly profitable while they have zero debt on the books. So they don't borrow money. Everything is peer to peer. It's all about matching, and they've done that beautifully.
Right. So shared this amazing story from fintech sector only. Talking about sectors, what is that one sector, which is actually booming right now, and we can see like in near future also, making
All of India is
records?
booming. Tell me what's not booming in India. But I'm very excited about two specific sectors. If you ask me, one is deep tech with a focus on space tech and semiconductors. I think just the government policies, the government push, the government infrastructure that got created, and the overall fact that these deep tech companies are no longer experiments being done by colleges that don't have any commercial viability. These are hardcore commercial viable projects that are taking in capital for speeding things up, to buy capex. You have 3D printed rockets in India. You've got we're making data centers. Putting up data centers in space. We're creating semiconductor chips that are looking at improving data compression to 95 to 99%. All these things, that 10 years ago, when if you somebody asked me about deep tech, I would always say कि मुझे नहीं लगता इंडिया में deep tech बन सकता है. India is not a deep tech story. But today you can really see it, right? Things have changed dramatically over the last 5 years, and I have had to change my thesis too.
Right.
So to me, I think deep tech with a focus on space tech, semiconductor, and then secondly, I believe the application layer of AI, right? That has a huge potential in India. We're very good at creating such products. So to me, I think applied AI companies are going to do very well, and they'll come from India simply because the kind of scale you get in India before without spending a lot of money, especially on the B2B stuff. So side. So yeah, I think that to me those two themes, more than sectors, I would say those two themes over the next 7 to 10 years should grow faster than the Indian economy and the Indian startup ecosystem.
Right. Talking about the aspiring entrepreneurs, sir, any advice that you would like to give since, this sector is looking out for funds and grants?
No, I think KYC, right? Know your customer. So at the end of the day, what I would encourage, and I encourage this to all founders that are building deep tech, they're building D2C companies, whatever you're building, be as close to the customer as possible, right? It is my belief that if you run behind the customer, and the customer is giving you oodles of money, the VCs will run behind you. Don't run behind the VCs. We're not the guys that we can only fund your share capital account. We can't fund your revenue account. So run behind your customer. Get to know your customer. Get the customer to give you solve their problems so that they give you a solid unit economics, and you can exponentially scale with them. Almost every single problem you have in your business can be solved by KYC, which is know your customer. And that's what my only encouragement and my only advice to any founder in any situation is: just know your customer.
Absolutely. Well said, sir. While we sum up this conversation, any last message that you would like to give to the, Tycon audiences also?
It was fantastic event, massive scale. Always knew UP was going to be big, but coming here and looking at what's happened, I truly am amazed with the scale that I saw, with the interest that I have seen, and I feel we should do more of such events where we can engage with the investors, the upcoming startups, and possibly do something really large in UP. UP is the size of one of the fifth largest countries, you could say, is as big as a country. And so I feel that there is definitely an opportunity to grow something massive in UP, and looking forward to being back here more often.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for your time, sir. This was Artha Group's vision for live from Tycon UP 2026. And as we are talking about the founder's journey, how it should be, and as Sir rightly said, that we should never run after funds, but we should work on the idea.
Thank you. Thank you
Just
so much.
thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time. Thank you.
Thanks.